Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night smoke sesh on Highly Motivated. So, tonight we're coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch. Very exciting. This is our Wednesday night get together, our Wednesday night community smoke sesh, where this is our opportunity to come smoke a joint together. And even if you don't smoke cannabis, or you don't eat cannabis, or you don't chew it raw, or you don't use it as a topical, it doesn't matter. This smoke sesh is just a community get together. This is a great opportunity for us all to share energy, to share vibe, to share the awesome frequency that brings us all together. So that's what we're doing here. That's what this is all about. And, usually on my Wednesday night smoke sesh, it's actually Wednesday morning I normally do this. Wednesday morning. But of course, one thing led to another, and I didn't have the opportunity to do it this morning. Way too busy. So anyways, instead, I'm coming to you right now, Highly Motivated Wednesday night smoke sesh. So welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I've got a bunch of little toys that I'm going to be playing with. Tonight, we're going to be talking about terpenes, aroma, flavor. This is a big deal to me. I really feel cannabis is all about the aroma, the smell, the terpene, the terps, the flavonoids, the flavonoids, potato, tomato, whatever. So then, again, thank you for joining me. Ooh, making a mess already. We're just here to smoke a joint together. And in the time that we're here together to smoke a joint, we're going to talk about terpenes. We're going to talk about flavor. So why is flavor so important? What is the big deal about flavor? Because when you first get into cannabis, a lot of people start talking about immediately sativa, indica, hybrid. Now that's a great way to learn, and that's a great way to get started in cannabis. But what's interesting about it, that's only the beginning. That's only describing the plants, or the indica and the sativa plant. One sativa being tall and skinny, the indica being short and stubby. So to me, sativa does not categorize how the cannabis is going to make me feel. Indica does not categorize how the cannabis is going to make me feel. And I say this because I smoke certain sativas and they put me in the ground. They knock me out. They put me in the couch where energy is gone, mind is gone, muscles are gone. I can't move. I can't think from a sativa. And then I've smoked indicas. I've smoked indicas that have blown me away. They've opened up my mind. They've freed my body. They've gotten me moving and with energy and with motivation. An indica. Now, one of the indicas that I smoke that I love, and it's really not an indica, but it comes from two indicas. So its lineage is Afghani and purple Thai. And these two cross together and make Flow, FLO. The best sativa I have ever had in my life. It's stinky, it's gassy, it's skunky. It smells so good. And it does something. Like, let's talk aroma. So, why is smell, taste, and aroma so important? So with Flow, the one that comes from two indicas, Afghani and purple Thai, it creates this beautiful sativa in smell, in taste, in terp, in aroma. When you start, as soon as bag appeal, you bring it out of the bag, and good Flow it'll have this immediate cheese and skunk that hits your smell receptors immediately, your nasal whatever whatever it is that smells things immediately. That's what it hits. Delicious because it's old school smell. Cannabis, weed, pot, whatever you want to call it. That is delicious. So I'm trying to be healthier, I'm trying to stay away from soda. See, it's right here. I didn't even open it yet. Absolutely delicious, but I need to get away from sugar. So I have it sitting there reminding me not to open it. And instead, we are drinking this Juego de Coco coconut juice with pieces, I think. Whatever. It's really tasty and it's healthy and it's alkaline. That's really good for you as well. Okay, let's go back to aroma. Just looking around at all the little goodies that I want to try today. My favorite device when smoking rosin or anything like that is the Wolfung. And the Wolfung is, this fills up and then you drink the smoke. But I enjoy doing it a little differently. I take the cup off and I attach a rosin cart. And I like to do it this way because it's a really nice big hit. I don't have to pull on it, but instead it's coming up to me. Make sure that's cleared out. Okay, beautiful. Anyway, so aroma, smell, and that's what we're going to do in a second. So with Flow, the reason it's such a good sativa or a good indica that's acting like a sativa, it's the aroma. That initial aroma of the skunky and the gassy and that just funky, almost like a tropical cherry. And if you've ever smoked a good tropical cherry, you'll know it's got this super funk that at first you're like, oh no, I don't like that. You put it down, walk away, come right back, and like, oh no, I want that. That's what I was needing. That's what my body was talking to me about. That super funk. So Flow comes in with some of that super funk. So that's where I get really excited. That initial aroma tells me if I want to smoke it. I mean, when we're talking terpenes, you've got, things like humulene or like eucalyptus, linalool or pinene or caryophyllene. Each one of these terpenes are going to have certain flavors and aromas that are associated with them. And some of these beautiful and so when you're smelling your cannabis, this is how you can tell before you even smoke it if that's what your body is looking for. So one of the things I love the most is a bud bar. If I go to a dispensary and I see a cannabis smell bar or a bud bar or whatever they want to call it, I'm so excited because now I can smell the aroma. That initial, you can smell a little terp, a little flavor, but mostly that initial aroma is telling me and my mind, well, my mind will be telling me after smelling it that if this is what I want to smoke or if this is what I'm looking for, because not always the same strains work out for me. I used to love Blue Dream. One of my favorite, and same with Pineapple Express. Love them. And what's funny is I bought a whole bunch of it and I kept it in a very nice container so that it cures right and it burps right and it doesn't go bad. I'm not going to lose any of the THC. It's just a really, like if you're keeping cigars over a period of time, you'd want to keep it in a humidor so that the temperatures are just right. Well, I do the same thing for my cannabis. So I bought a lot of Blue Dream at one point, a couple of ounces. And as I'm smoking through it, the first ounce, really nice, really good. I really enjoyed the smoke. So let's go an ounce in, and I'm smoking a joint, and it just wasn't right. It started giving me a headache. Started making me feel overly anxious, or maybe just uneasy about my surroundings. I didn't understand it. So I put the joint down. I walked away. I felt a little better. I came back. I smoked it again, and I started getting that headache. I started getting that uneasy feeling. And so what it was my body was telling me that strain wasn't what I was looking for. That strain wasn't right for me right now. That's not what my body or my mind needed to kind of come to a proper homeostasis. So the best way I've learned, and there's two ways actually, but one is very difficult to come across because not everybody's going to let you eat their weed to try it. Hey, let me put a little bit of that in my mouth. Let me chew it. Let's try that out. Doesn't happen. So instead, uh, smell. Smell is a big deal. So I love a good bud bar. If they've got a bud bar where I can get in there and I can look at the bud and I can smell it, my body will immediately, even if it's an indica, because normally I'm not a big indica guy. I like sativas and I like where they lean because of the terps or the smell, the flavor, the aroma. That's what's going to shape me. That's what's going to bring me to a, you know, like linalool. Linalool, it's citrusy, it's bright, it's fresh. That's how I see certain terps. That's how they stand out to me. They stand out to me because of the smell, because of the taste. And anything that's super citrusy or super limey is going to be linalool. It's going to have, limonene, actually. Limonene, not linalool. Linalool is going to be more of your, oh, I'm terrible. See, I start smoking, and so linalool is more like your lavender, your floral. It's gonna have hints of citrusy, but no. It was what I was talking about was limonene. Limonene is where you're gonna have your citrus. Limonene, wow, my brain. Limonene is where you're gonna have your lemons and your limes, and that fresh, beautiful scent. But keep in mind, this is like grapefruit or tangerines. Mm. And the reason these are so important because they influence our mood. These terps and the smells, they influence our energy levels. That's that right there is the most simple thing. Look, I like breaking things down to simplicity. I like breaking it down to let's not overcomplicate shit. Smells change everything. THC is not enough. Cannabis on its own is not enough. It needs that smell. It needs that flavor to shape it in the direction that's going to help us the most. So again, flavor and the power of aromas, the power of smell. So I'm back to bud bars. The other day, I smelled it was I want to say it was strawberry pancakes. Wow, so gassy, so smelly, so cheesy, so skunky. It was so much. It was so deep in its beautiful aroma, and I think the terps on it were only 1.8 or 1.9. Anything over two, I'm very impressed by. But at 1.7, I mean, it's good. It's good. But the aroma was incredible, overpowering, delicious. It woke me. I was feeling kind of down, kind of out of it, and then I smelled the strawberry pancakes. I was like, wow. It opened my eyes. It opened my brain. I felt like I was getting a second wind right there. I'm like, what is this? Just from smelling the aroma. That's how exciting, that's how amazing smell is. See, smell is going to change everything. It's going to change the direction of how your cannabis hits you. Mm. Like, for example, you go with something like, say, like myrcene. Myrcene, beautiful terpene, and I look for myrcene a lot because it's earthy. I love earthy. It's a little fruity, it's a little citrusy. I think the best way to look at like a myrcene, which is a combination of things, because I find it peppery, I find it mangoey, I find it like thyme, I find it, it's got different flavors that come in depending on what it's mixed with, what I'm smoking it with. Um, like humulene, again, earthy, woody, spicy. So if I have like a nice myrcene and a nice humulene together, that's very spicy. It's very earthy. That's very uplifting, like clearing your mind, opening things. But a lot of times you're going to find some of those with your indica strains. So that's why I say don't look at indica as you're in the couch necessarily. Don't look at sativa as you're full of energy and creativity. It's not always that way. Just that's what it is. Let me see. Oh, mm, awesome. Fantastic. Look at that. We've got a GoPro Fat. Hey, awesome. Hey, thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for being part of the vibe. Remember, when we get together like this on these smoke sessions, it's just getting together. This is how it would be if I was hanging out at your house or you're hanging out here and we'd be smoking a lot of weed. We'd be checking out a lot of different strains and talking about a lot of different things. And that is what is beautiful about life, because we get to share our energy, share our vibes, share our frequency. And that's, look, this show gets me going. This show enthralls me, vibes me, matches my frequency, because I can tell when people are matching, when they're watching, when they're part of it. That's what it's about. It's just getting together and being friends digitally from 1,000 million miles away. It doesn't matter. Million miles away. Wouldn't that be the moon? I think the moon is 1,000,000 miles away. Or I should probably look that up at some point, so there's a lot. Why, I don't know. But now that I'm bringing it up at 1,000,000 miles away, it might be the moon. Okay. But hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of the show. I appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it. That's what it is. This is the middle of the week. This is exciting because, remember, life is an adventure. Life is a journey. Life is the most exciting thing. Nothing compares to it. Nothing compares to the adventure that you're on right now. As long as you look at it like it's an adventure, as long as you look at it like it's the fascinating, wondrous trip that it creates every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening. Tonight, I was watching the sun go down right before the show. The colors, the reds and the pinks and the orange just overtook the sky. And it overtook me. Last night, I was outside with the moon. I'm glad we're talking about this, because I wanted to talk also about regrounding yourself. Not just terpenes are we talking today, not just aroma. And we're going to go back to it. We're going to go to that, and then we're going to bounce somewhere else. And then we're going to come over here, and then we'll bounce somewhere else. Whatever. It is what it is. So in that, we're not grounded. We're not part of Mother Earth anymore. We've detached ourselves with these digital devices and these EMF frequencies. And no, it's not about that. It's we've stopped camping. We've stopped making fires. We've stopped howling at the moon and singing campfire songs with guitars. We've stopped getting together as vibe, as frequency, as people, as children of Mother Earth. So just to throw it out there, and we're going to get into more depth on things, I'm sure. Maybe not. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Who knows? It takes me like 15 minutes to get into the show, even though I'm like ready. Like the second it starts, I'm ready. I'm on. I can talk. But it's like my brain doesn't come to, or nothing really like centers itself out for like good 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and then the brain's like, hey, I'm here. Is a weird joint. It was a combination joint. It was a joint of many things. It was, I'm usually, when I start getting a little bit low on flour, I start combining different strains. Like that was Orange Bowl and Mount Hood Magic, and maybe a little bit of Cherry Rush. Now, these are all strains that I got from Gold Flower. Gold Flower Cannabis is a cannabis provider here in the state of Florida. If you have your medical card, there's nobody else to even look at. I've tried everybody, and I still do. I smoke everybody. I smoke from the Flowery. I smoke from Jungle Boys. I occasionally I'll get like super cheap flower from the Sanctuary. They do like 3 for $40. That's crazy price. But you pay for what you get. So when I smoke it, it's okay. But it's like for a regular, I don't really get high. But I need to smoke something sometimes. I need that oral fixation. But that combination joint, I can feel already that kicking in. You pay for what you get. And I say that here in Florida, it's been about discount. It's been about how cheap you get flowers sometimes. So anyways, I really enjoy those strains right there. Those came out of Gold Flower. I've been smoking a lot of them lately. As you can see, I'm even repping one of their brand associations with Pine Park. Pine Park, they've got flower lemon pastries, Goofies. Goofies was crazy. Aroma through the roof, like the best aroma ever, and a really nice, even mellow hybrid high. But the taste, not really anything. It's so multifaceted. It was so deep with such a high terpene profile. I want to say it was 4 point originally 4 point something. Wow, 4 point. Holy shit. 4 point. Oh my god. And I think the new one that came out, or the new batch I just saw, was like 3.8 or 3.2. Still, well, 3.8. Still insanely high. That's super high terps. Super high. So aroma, incredible. I mean, for Goofies, the aroma knocked me on my ass. It was beautiful. It was fruity. It was deep. It was gorgeous. And then, when I was breaking it up, it was super sticky and had a really great smell to it. So that's why aroma and terp are gonna be two different things. And the aroma told me I want to smoke this. Just found one of these sitting over there. I figured let's see how long I can keep it lit. What is this? Wow. I don't know what it is, but it is really good. Maybe Mamacita? Wow. Really nice. So, quality, and that's what it really is all about. When it comes to cannabis, it's about quality. THC. So I don't smoke distillates. Let me show you what I mean. Here, do I have a fresh box? No, I don't. I thought I did. Here we go. Oh, I do. Here we go. Okay, so this one just opened up the box. Haven't even taken off the caps yet. So this is rosin. Now the reason I like to show rosin is that's all I smoke. Like if I'm gonna do a vape, so if I'm smoking any kind of vape device, I am only smoking rosin. Rosin and resin are very different products, and distillate and isolate are two different products as well. So let's talk about the different products and right. Let me put this down. Okay, because this is super important. So resin is flower, cannabis, that has been, as soon as it's cut, it's flash frozen. Excuse me. It's flash frozen, and then it's extracted. And they squeeze it. They use heat. They maybe use butane or ethanol, or I don't know. There's so many different types of extraction process. But the smartest extraction is a little bit of heat and pressure from a single source rosin press. But we'll get in the rosin. Again, this is rosin. And you can see by the color, that's just gorgeous. That's beautiful, beautiful color right there. That is what I say when that's gorgeous rosin. So rosin and resin, two different things. Now, rosin is cured or dried, cured, loved on cannabis. So it's cannabis that's gone through the whole process. You can smoke that flower right there. It's juicy, it's resinous, it's ready. But then they take that cured, dried, ready to go flower, and they put it into a press. And that press gives you this beautiful stuff right here. That's rosin. So that's what we're gonna be smoking this evening as well. I don't do resin, because normally with resin, again, they flash freeze it and then they will add terpenes to it later on. Terpenes, usually they're going to be botanical terpenes, and botanical terpenes come from anything and everything: pineapples, tomatoes, cherries, uh, the pine from the pine soul, or whatever. Terpenes can come from anything. Cannabis terpenes only come from cannabis. Cannabis terpenes only come from cannabis. They only come from the plant. So when you start talking about rosin, nothing's put in there. And it's not, they don't use ethanol or butane to extract it. It's pressure and a slight amount of heat. That's it. So pressure and a single source rosin press, I think it's called. Look up Asher's Finest Rosins. If you look up Asher's Finest Rosins, you will see the proper way to extract these beautiful oils from the flower. He's got videos. If you find him, Asher's Finest Rosins, you will see how he extracts his incredible and goes through his incredible process. Actually, I'm going to get some videos from Goldflower and probably post them and show the beautiful extraction process that the flower is going through in order to get the rosin. So that's all I smoke. I don't even remember why I started talking about rosin, but it was just another form. So, I was talking about the different forms of cannabis as well. So we're talking about terpenes. We're going to be talking about grounding ourselves today. Go outside without any shoes on, by the way. Just walk around barefoot. Hug a tree. We'll come back to this shit, but hug a tree. Do this. Do this when nobody's watching if it makes you feel better. Or do this when everybody's watching. So they take off their shoes. They walk in the ground. They hug a tree. They howl at the moon. Just to quickly mention the moon last night, amazing. Biggest moon I've seen in a long time. And it went through a partial lunar eclipse, but I didn't see that. I just saw how big and beautiful the moon was. And it lit up the entire sky. So it was like that's how I think people would go hunting. I can't do hunting. I'm, you know. That's so good. Okay. So talking about the different forms of cannabis. Wait, let's get this going before I get too serious in the shit. Because I was talking about terpenes and I wrote down everything I want to talk about. But my eyesight is so bad and the lighting in here is such shit. I can't see anything. Or I've got everything on my. So that's being authentic. That's being real. That's being dropping shit on the floor. Oh, wait, more light. That is beautiful. Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you for joining me tonight on our Wednesday night smoke sesh. Normally, we don't have any topics. We don't have any topics when it comes to our Wednesday night smoke sesh. No topic. It's just to smoke and hang out as friends. But I wanted to talk about people needing to ground themselves. I also want to talk about terpenes a little bit. I want to talk about aroma and flavor and taste. I want to talk about the different forms of cannabis. I want to talk about 1,000 things tonight. So in those 1,000 things that I want to talk about, there you go. If you happen to jump into the conversation while I'm talking about concentrates, well, there you go. So I look at concentrates in many different ways, and we probably need to have a show specifically just on concentrates. But it's true, we do. Okay, here we go. The wolf fong. Okay. I need to be prepared. Oh, that was a big hit. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm not even sure what that is. So I know what it is. I can tell immediately. It's super boof. It's the citrusy. It's so citrusy. It's piney. It's limey. It takes over your entire palate. So again, that's rosin, and we're smoking it through the wolf fong. Amazing. Really fun. So rosin is one of the forms of concentrates. Now, what else do you have? You've got rosin, you've got distillate, you've got resin. These are all considered a concentrate form of cannabis. I don't agree with all forms. And I say that, let's start with a distillate. So a distillate is usually a highly refined oil, a highly refined singular THC in some cases, in most cases. So a decent distillate is just going to be a really clean version of THC. And then they've added terps, botanical terps, or whatever they want to call them, natural terps, because the terpenes do probably come from natural sources. They're just not cannabis. And to me, You need cannabis terpenes, cannabis flavor. Not until I got older did I start to realize that you needed the full spectrum. So this is why I smoke rosin. Rosin is a full spectrum product as opposed to a distillate or an isolate. A distillate or an isolate is not a full spectrum product. It is a singular THC with things that have been added. I don't like anything added. I'm a bit of a purist. So that's why, and I'm smoking the Super Booth from Goldflower. I picked up a huge haul. They had a sale rocking that was so insane. And look, when you have an opportunity to get a hold of some decent cannabis at a really good price, that's what you do. That's what it's about. It's about decent price, but it's about quality. That's why, again, I was repping Pine Park, one of their brands. Goofies, I started talking about Goofies. So great aroma, but the flavor, because it was so high, I think I lost it on the flavor. I didn't really taste much. I had a nice hybrid high, but flavor I didn't taste as much. But I smelled it initially, and the aroma while I was breaking it up really mellowed me out and kind of brought me to an awesome place. So going back to where I was talking about, I'm still going to talk about concentrates right now a little bit, but smell does it all. It changes everything. And so when I go into a bud bar in a dispensary, I I can smell what I'm looking for. Like I was talking about the strawberry pancakes, or there was another one, the rose gold runts. Oh, and normally I'm not a runts guy. but but it just smelled so good. So I got it home, I smoked it, and it was great for my body. It knocked me out. I couldn't get off the couch. So it's an indica that acted like an indica. Let's do a little bit more of this fun one. I feel if I put the cup on it, but it makes me cough, I think. Here. Okay, let's just let it fill it up. And I'll show you how it works. So as you see, it's filling up the cup. Isn't that awesome? So, and air is not getting to it, so it shouldn't make you cough, other than it being a really, really big hit. Look at that. That's insane. That right there is like somebody's been puffing on this thing for a very long time. I'm probably going to cough. I'm not ready. I was going to do it in one. But I was trying to avoid the cough. And I didn't. Ooh, I think because I smoked this thing down to the absolute end. So this cart is done. Finito. Complete. Ooh, ooh. Didn't even talk about this one. We're going to smoke this in a little bit with the Puffco Proxy. This is roll-ups. Ooh. I've already been smoking on it. So you have to excuse me. But that's a 1 gram, or it was 1 gram, of roll-ups. Look how gorgeous that is. That right there is how your concentrate should look. That is batter. Batter is one of the most beautiful. So I like crumble. Crumble is one of my favorites because I like the consistency. And I do like sugar. I enjoy sugar. Now, these are all different concentrates. This right here would be like butter. I call it batter, butter batter. And then there's also another one that I really enjoy, which is jam. Now, all of these that I've mentioned are different consistencies, and some of them smell a little bit different. Some have gone through a slightly different process to get it to its final beautiful consistency. But as you can see, that right there would be butter or batter. And don't confuse it butter like you're going to cook with it. Don't cook with this. You want you want to smoke this. You don't want to cook it. Wow. That rosin hit was so big. Oh, that knocked me on my ass. That was insane. Oh, wait. You missed it. I don't know what you missed. But I'm here. So welcome. Welcome to the highly motivated. So, anyways, you see that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So gorgeous. So beautiful. Okay. But that right there is some roll-ups. Roll-ups is a hybrid leaning sativa. Super, super delicious. And we're going to smoke that in the Puffco Proxy. Now, just want to mention, when it comes to concentrates, probably my favorite toy is the Proxy. I've got a peek. I don't really like to use it. I don't like to clean it. For me, cleaning my device is like the bane of my existence. It's like, oh, it's dirty. It's dirty. Throw it away. Throw it away. We don't want to see it anymore. Let's get a new one. No, I don't have money like that. It's expensive. So you got to clean it. And cleaning takes hours, takes dedication, takes concentration. That's not something I have. So, Puffco Proxy, incredibly excited. It does look good, doesn't it? You know, that's what I like to use. So anyways, I'm putting that in here. Now, I did clean out the chamber. So this is a ceramic chamber. This is fantastic, but it can take out the entire device, as you see. Oh, so it's dirty. So this is what happens when you're smoking the device. You see this? So that is no longer good. That's not product that you want to keep. That is what you're going to clean up later on. But as you see, the inside chamber is clean. Okay, let me just pop that back into this. Let me see. So I didn't totally clean it. I just cleaned the inside. We're not perfect. But I do love this, and especially when it comes to smoking. So concentrates, the older people get, they get a little scared about concentrates, especially if they haven't been around them. They get the bad idea where they see people smoking concentrates through like a dab rig, which is a glass rig, a glass smoking device, a big one, where people can use a butane torch or something like that to heat up the bowl. And so they're smoking this product. Just had to get a little smell really quickly, but they're smoking this product and they're putting it into a dab rig, and they'll take, you know something? Let me just take a little bit. Let me take a little bit and show you. So this is my little spoony spoon, and I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to snap off a little bit. Now I put mine in the freezer, and then I've had it sitting out for like 20 minutes to make sure there's no condensation. I've had it sitting out for a little while. So this is how much I take. Now this would be, I think this would be like one dab. That's like one dabbity dabbity. And this is batter, butter, roll-ups. You can tell I love some roll-ups. I do. I've got some vape roll-ups over here. I've had some flower roll-ups. But as you see, that's it right there. And then that, I'm just going to put in here. I'm just going to drop that just like so. So the reason I put mine in the freezer, by the way, and I let it sit for a little bit, you saw that? I could just pick it up. It didn't stick to my tool. So I'm able to pick it up as a piece and drop it directly into the Puffco Proxy. So I was really quickly explaining, when you get to my age, or people get to my age, and it comes to concentrates, and all they know are dab rigs with a high heat thing, it scares them, and they don't want to be any part of it. Put the little protection piece back on top of it. Pulpity. Oh. Okay, so they get scared, and they're not, because there's too many moving parts. You got to heat the shit up. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. Then you got to clean it and blah, 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 blah. So with the Proxy, the reason I love it so much, it is a little dirty right now, I know. But the reason I love it so much is that it's one button. That's it. One button, you press it twice, you're ready to rock and roll. That's after you set your initial temperature, which I've set mine to low. Because I don't want high heat. I want flavor. I want terp. I want aroma. I want all that great shit. So as you saw, I put in that small amount. Now, normally people would do one hit. One insane hit, one dab, and that would be gone. And you saw how much I put in there. Don't know if you could see that right now. There you go. Okay, so I'm just closing the lid. Boom. Boom. That's it. And then this button right there. Where is it? Can you see it? It's right there. Boom, boom. Pressed it twice. It's buzzing. As soon as it buzzes again, it's ready. So I like doing my concentrates almost like I drink wine. I'm sipping them. I'm enjoying it. I'm taking in the aroma of it, the smell. Look, even before I put it into the pipe, I smelled the raw, fresh product. Beautiful. That is a pure cannabis right there. That's a concentrate. So don't be afraid of it, but do it differently. Don't do a hard dab and blow your brain out. Ooh, look, it's ready. Okay, here we go. Wow. Very smooth. Very nice. Now it's a nice session. If I want to extend it, I just hit the button again. And now I have an extended session, so I'm probably going to talk a little bit and smoke. Now, the harder I hit it, the more I'm kind of pulling through. So I try not to hit it too hard. This way, I give my body proper chance to kind of assimilate it, proper chance to break it down mentally and physically. It's not about how hard I'm going to take the hit. It's how much I want to enjoy it. I don't want to just fucking do it and be like, oh, I took a hit and it's a powerful hit and holy shit. I didn't enjoy it that way. I don't want to get high. I want to get high. And I want to bring it to like, oh, I want to bring it to a whole new level. How does the smoothness compare to, like, say, a regular vape? So, much stronger. Smooth wise, I mean, okay, so this one right here is roll-ups, same product. Wow. Okay, same exact product. I'll take this and I'll turn it all the way up to high. So it's on high right now, which is like 4 point blah 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 volts or something. So on high, 4 point something, I think. 4.1, 4.2, not very high. I think about the same temperature as what this is on low. So I do a dab. I find it, I can still feel it because it's heavy, sitting right here. So it's a little heavier, but it hits you a lot more. I mean, the way I sip it, kind of like I'm sipping a vape. It hits you and you're like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And it's not. It's really, really nice. But this is roll-ups. Maybe it's Chimera 4. So it's either Chimera 4 or it's roll-ups. Not quite sure. But smooth, as I'm taking the hit, very smooth. Now, compared to the same product, difference would be, this is rosin, same product, just slightly different concentrate delivery. It's smoother like this because it's not as heavy. It's smoother like this because I mean, but the high, I find to be crisper, clearer, maybe a little deeper. Maybe it comes back at me. Oh, it's nice, you know. That's a solid underlying high for me. This is maybe more healing. And that's why I talk about concentrates. Because here, if you ever feel like you're coughing a lot, just do this. And what you're doing, you're loosening up the lungs just a little bit. When I do concentrates can be heavy on your lungs. So just, this is Kiyong, or I'm butchering names. I butcher everything. But just get over here and just lightly tap. Don't beat the shit out of yourself. Right from here and come outwards. And lightly tap to start loosening things. See, sometimes we just get so tight. That's what I'm saying. We forget to connect ourselves with Mother Earth. We forget to relax and take a deep breath. There we go. A little better. See, just tap, 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 tap. You know, every morning you should do that for your stomach. Like your sides right over here. Just kind of good tap. Wake shit up, you know? Because if you're not waking shit up, then nothing else is waking shit up. Just a little tappy tappy. Okay, so it's good for the lungs. It gets things moving. It wakes up your blood vessels. Sometimes you got to wake them up. Sometimes they're sleeping. They're lazy. They're tired. They've been working hard. Okay, so I feel better now. That's nice. So the reason I love concentrates and that I want older Americans using cannabis to start using concentrates, they can't always smoke. They can't, concentrates allow you to go much longer periods of time between inhalations or between doses. Cannabis doing regimens and microdoses throughout the day is a great way to help balance your mind and body, especially if you deal with PTSD, especially if you deal with you can't deal with big crowds or too much coming at you at one time and you need a break. Look, cannabis is a great break. People go for cigarette breaks. Why can't you go for a cannabis break? People go to the bar for happy hour. Damn it, cannabis is happy hour all the time. And so for me, vape is probably one of the easiest ways to do it because it's discreet. And you're just like, hey, hey, I could put up with people again. I am ready to rock and roll. Now, I do find if I smoke too much concentrate, it gets very heavy on the lungs and I have to clear it out more. But I notice if I just smoke concentrate like that, I don't have to smoke anymore for a while. So like that amount that I did, and there's still something sitting in that bowl. It's pretty burnt up though. I mean, I've smoked everything in that bowl. And so with that one session, with that concentrate, I wouldn't have to actually smoke anything else tonight. I wouldn't even have to think about it. I didn't say I'm not going to smoke anything else tonight. Of course I am. I'm going to continue smoking things this evening. Silly people. But in all actuality, you know, in all actuality, I don't have to smoke anything else. That takes care of it. So you said your throat is sensitive to impurities. Rosin, not resin. Rosin is fantastic for you, but it's stronger. It's heavier. And because of that heaviness, I mean, you're not going to cough if you keep it on low temperature. If you're doing it on a high temperature like I do, I mean, I'm ridiculous. I'm about to put it into this wood fung, and I'm going to smoke more rosin from the wood fung. And I'm not even sure which one it is, but it looks good. Wait, and it was clogged. So, ooh, it's lemony. Ooh, I am so excited. Wait, it's too tight. See, you need airflow. Okay, here we go. I am ready. So when you don't do distillates. If your throat has an issue with impurities, you do distillates, it's going to destroy your throat. It's going to start to tear it apart. Distillates, it's like they're over flavoring things. And I also look to speak about flour and people spraying flour. This is like a sin. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what people are thinking. I don't even know why people look at something like this and consider it something they would smoke. Don't buy a joint at the gas station. I'm just going to throw that out there to you because that's gross. That's gross. They're being sprayed with terpenes and flavors and colors and holy shit to make you excited to want to buy it. It looks like Fruity Pebbles. Don't buy it. If you can't eat it, don't buy it. Don't smoke it. If you can't eat it, don't smoke it. So if your throat is sensitive to impurities, really the big deal is rosin. Rosin's going to be great, but don't smoke like on high because it's heavy and it'll only bother your tracheal for a while because of how heavy it is. But if you can get past that, then it's perfect. It's beautiful. I cough. I'm easy to cough. So here's a big deal. I cough very easily. If the flour isn't cured right and if it's not dried right, I will cough. If it's a certain terpene that I don't like a eucalyptus or something. I mean, I can smoke it, but my body's not like crazy, like a eucalyptol or something. I'm not crazy about it. But in that, because I do like some minty shit. And I do like, but it's got a certain flavor to it that messes me up and it makes me cough. If it's a distillate, I smoke a distillate, I cough. I smoke anything with a tobacco paper, I cough because I can't. I like purity. And that's something that I've found where it's cured right, it's dried right, it's good bud, I'm not going to cough. If it's good vape, good rosin, you shouldn't cough. I'm just saying you shouldn't. Look, this device, the wood fung, I took off the thingy. That makes me cough. Here, let's do a. Oh, oh, it's still on. Wait, is it clogged? Oh, it was clogged. Ooh, this is funky. Ooh, whatever that is that I put in there, I just want to smell it. Let me just. Oh, oh, that is funky. That is like a skunky cheese. That is heavenly. Oh, there's not much of that left. Let me just smoke that. God, I don't want to let it go to waste. That's a rosin. If that was a distillate, I'm on the floor coughing. You don't have to cough to get off, by the way. When you're coughing, you know what that's doing? That's putting the blood, restricting the blood to the brain. And that crosses that blood-brain barrier thing. And am I high, or am I restricting blood flow to my brain? Am I high, or I'm just, you know. No, you're not high like that. You're high when it really hits you. You're high if it's good shit, it doesn't make you cough. And it assimilates into the body. And as it does that, now now all senses are activating. Not just, oh, I'm high, holy shit. No, I am euphorically open to conversation. I am feeling witty and funny and free. I am pain free. I am social and motionable. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying, but who gives a shit? That is what good cannabis does, though. It changes everything. Look, it's that right there took a giant rosin hit from this Wolfgang. I think I just like saying it. I just like saying it. But from a giant hit, and I didn't cough. That tells you something. And I cough super easy. Super easy. Doing the concentrate I did with the Puffco, low temperature. I put in a large amount, but I felt a beautiful effect from that. And I didn't end up coughing or hawking out or hacking out my lung. Hawk to us. No, I didn't hack out my lungs. That's huge. That's huge. It is. It is. And to me, super exciting. So, wait, one more time because it was just so delicious. Whatever this is, good. I'm glad you said, and thank you, internal level, because I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. This is so funky. So funky. I just got to do it again. Okay. Oh, exciting. All right. And that's where aroma plays a big deal. Right there, that aroma is just, oh, overwhelmingly beautiful. I can smell it all around me right now. And it's kind of like, oh, it's making the day. It's that right there is giving me energy. But super boof, if that's what it is, if that's the super boof, no. If that's the Chimera 4, it comes from indica. Chimera 2 is an indica solid. Chimera 4, a different phenotype of the same strain, is more of a, it's just more hybrid. But you cross Chimera 2 and you cross Chimera 2 and Chimera 4 together, and you get this funky sativa that it works a little more euphorically. It works a little more with your body, like your body feels it, like, oh, that's nice, that's fantastic. Let's do something. That's let's party, let's dance. That's what it kind of feels like. But individually, now I think that's Chimera 4 because it's funky. And on its own, it's a nice hybrid. And I can feel that, like right here. And it's interacting with anything else I've smoked, but it's really lightly coming in. It's right here. It's like, hey, I'm here. How you doing? And it's not really going to my head. It's not really going too much to my body. Just staying right here, kind of light, kind of funky. Kind of light, kind of funky. I mean, if you're going to describe a cannabis, that's how you describe it. It's light, it's funky. And you saw that. Look, rosin is so delicious if it's done right. And look, no chemicals. I can taste butane. I can taste ethanol. I can taste anything that they put into the cannabis that shouldn't be there. And they put those things into the cannabis so they can extract more from the plant. They can get more. You just want to press the oils out. That's how you want to do it. That's it. Press the oils out. And let me just a little bit more because there's not much left in there. Just I feel like a silly wizard smoking this shit. This is so good. Wow. I got to tell you, that right there has changed my mood. I mean, my mood was fine, but that created this really nice, just, hey, let's chit chat. Let's get back to topics. Concentrates are good like that because you don't have to smoke as much. Now, normally from a vape pen, I wouldn't be hitting it as often, only because I'm not. Let me just. I'm looking. Okay, I wouldn't be hitting it as often like that because it requires that I, pull from the vape pen. You start pulling from the vape pen, you're creating this action and this effect. So I really like it pushing into my mouth. And I want to mention there was a toy on Cheech and Chong, one of their movies, and the cop in the evidence locker with the iguana in the library with the candlestick. No, he was in the evidence room with the iguana with this gun, this electric looking gun that he plugged in. He loaded it and he sat there and he was smoking it. It was pushing out smoke. And I've been looking for this pipe forever. Well, it's obviously something that was concocted back in the more intelligent 60s and 70s, where when it came to the MacGyvering of cannabis pipes, we just don't see that technology today. I mean, it's much like the ancient Egyptians and the Phoenicians and the Tartarians, and there's some really wild stuff out there. But in all of that, we don't get that technology. We have lost incredible smoking technology. Thomas Jefferson. No. Oh my God. I'm like, one of our forefathers, the one that invented shit and had glasses, that wasn't Jefferson. I'm bad. I'm so bad right now. Who is it? It doesn't matter. It does matter. It does. He was an awesome dude, and he made one of the first most amazing bongs ever, gravity bongs, to show how gravity works with cannabis. And his name will pop to me later, and I'll be like, really? Really? I probably said his name. It was probably Thomas Jefferson. The guy looks like a Thomas. I'm looking for another name, like a John, but he doesn't look like a John. He's kind of like a little tubby. Yes! You know something? It is Franklin. Thank you. Here I am. Thank you. Thank you. It is Franklin. Yeah. I'm telling you, he looks like a Thomas all of a sudden. Now I almost knocked shit right off the table. No, I'm just thinking about it right now. He looks like a Thomas. Think about it. Look at Frank. Look at him. Look at him. Don't look at his name. Look at him and look at him as Thomas Jefferson. I'm just saying. Doesn't it just kind of like go? It makes sense all of a sudden. Anyways, you know who the hell I'm talking about. He made an amazing bong, and technology like that we're missing. We are missing this technology. So we were talking about flavors and aromas and concentrates, and it came in handy. It did in political science. Yes, it did come in handy, and his incredible skills that he possessed. And it's great to know that he was a lover of cannabis, a grower of cannabis, a supporter of the future of cannabis. And it's such a shame that the country went in opposite direction. To think, I bet Ben would be very mad. Benjamin Franklin is who I'm actually talking about, by the way. And it took me this long to remember it was Ben instead of Thomas, because I'm thinking Thomas the entire time now. I'm like, hey, Thomas Franklin. It's Benjamin Franklin. So Benjamin Franklin, I bet he'd be rolling in his grave knowing that we were against cannabis I mean, not the people, but the government, of all things that he helped create. Okay. There's a lot of ironies in government and a lot of irony in, I want to keep smoking this, but there's like nothing left. I think there's like the last possible hit. I'm about to get out of it. Let me just make sure it's clear. Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna smell it because it's right at the end, and I don't really like to smoke things so close to the end, but wow. Wow. That is okay, it's definitely at the end. It just started going right bad there. Good, done. No more. That's finito. Okay. I have another one. I have one more that I haven't even broken into yet. But this is the roll up. No. You know something? I'm pretty sure this is roll ups. I'm just going to pop that in there. This is the kind of pipe I've always been looking for, though. Something that blows the smoke out to me so I can just inhale it. But I'm looking, instead of having to go and press a button or press a button, I should have like a remote control and just walk over to it and hit the remote control and be like, thank you. Or Alexa, hit me. Yes! I tell you, sometimes I have some great ideas. Y'all ready for this? This kind of looks like an Alexa. Or the Google thing. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck they're called. I'm sorry. I don't know what they're called. I don't have one. I don't want anybody listening in to the strange shit that I talk about on the podcast. I guess it really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm pretty open on the podcast, so I guess I could have an Alexa. But that being said, y'all are hearing it now. A cart that attaches to your Alexa. A rosin cart that attaches to your Alexa, and you walk over to the Alexa, you're like, yo, Alexa, hit me. And Alexa's like, most definitely. That's the way to do it. Thank you, Alexa. And Alexa would be like, yo. Probably there's something out there like that already. Or if there isn't, somebody's listening in a much more forward-thinking country, and they're like, boom, it's created. It's on the market tomorrow. Alexa's gonna start. Watch. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Tiny bit, but in that, yeah, it is Alexa. Thank you very much. Because I wasn't sure. Because I know there's like different ones. There's like Alexa, and then there's like Alexa, and then there's who gives a shit? Okay. but you're gonna see that these devices now are gonna come out with a cart attached to the top. Okay. And no, it's gonna be the rage. It's gonna be the rage. And instead of these things being on the desk or on a table, they're gonna be attached to walls, right? And people's gonna be walking by, and be like, yo, Alexa, ready. That smells almost like candy. Like a fruity candy. But from the flour to the batter, or the butter, the batter, to the rosin, the smell is so different. It varies so many different. Wow. That is truly a sativa. Immediately, I told you I was kind of like in this nice hybrid, I'm there. Just now, that lifted me up just a little bit more. That was delicious. Okay, I'm going to have to put that down. So bad. That's how I am with concentrates. I just kind of keep going at them sometimes. But what's great about cannabis, that even if I keep smoking all these concentrates, the worst that could happen to me is that I sleep well tonight. That's the worst that can happen to me. Stay hydrated though. Coconut water, alkalinity, very important for the body. You want to keep the body alkaline with coconut water. I don't know why it's not French, but you know, this one feels like it's French. I wish there was more of a coconut flavored cannabis. That would be, I don't, I think because I would go with earthy. You know, I would go with maybe, oh, that is so weird. There's a, what is it? It's I can't pronounce it right now, but something with an F. And I would say that maybe combined with terpenolines and, oh, I'm gonna have to really sit down and look at what a coconut cannabis would be. That would be, I mean, I would go limey, but coconuts are not limey unless you shove a fucking lime in it. So I don't want to say limonin. I don't want to say citroins like that. Mercins, I don't. I'm gonna have to sit down and look at it and really kind of study what would put together a coconut cannabis. So we're talking concentrates, and we're just kind of chit-chatting and smoking together and talking about a great new invention, the Alexa plus 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 plus. So if you see this somewhere, somebody contact me. I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, this is a genius idea. Everybody, they're gonna be attached to the wall. People are gonna walk over to it and just be like, yes. And then there's gonna be a service that comes and refills the carts. You know, depending on, they're gonna come with like a little bud bar and be like, smell this. You like that? You like that? So we got one for you. Boom. See, I think maybe the future of cannabis is not going to be about THC. I think it's going to be more about in the concentrated form of which we use it. It's going to be about the those initial aromas, those initial flavors, that terp. And to me, what terp is flavor and smell at the same time. So like I can taste it and I can smell it. Like I can smell it and taste it. Like it smells. Ha! I like that one. I like the Orange Plus, you know. That's gonna be a good one. But if I can taste it and smell it because it tastes like or if I can, I'm like backwards. I keep doing it backwards. If I can smell it and then taste it because it smells so good, that's a terp and a flavonoid. Because when I'm smoking it, that flavor goes directly to my those whatever fucking receptors those are responsible for. That's what it is. So, and then the aroma, like with flour, when I'm breaking up flour, oh, that's so nice. It's so good. I love it. I can't put it in a little grinder thingy because then I wouldn't smell all the beautifulness right there as I'm messing with it and I'm breaking it down. And my body is right there. It's confirming. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to smoke this shit. You want to roll it. You want to smoke it. You want to get it all in your face. Just put it in your face. Put the smoke there. Wow, this shit's got me high. That's the way you want to approach Wednesday evening. It's like having my glass of wine. That's what this is. Because I didn't have a glass of wine this evening. This is my this is like my bottle of wine. This is if I was adventurous enough to have a whole bottle of wine this evening. I'm a cheap date. So, or like one of those bottles of mead. Oh, I picked up something, the Dragon's Heart mead. Delicious. It was so good. It was I could have drinking many a bottles. It was a dark color. It was a delicious mead, and I drank that bottle and felt just fine. No pain. And mead is honey wine, by the way. So it's wine made from honey. I just learned I've got a plant on my property here. I did not know. And I always thought it was poisonous. And then I find out it's not. I'm not sure if it's poisonous. No, I'm pretty sure. This ranger dude on the TikToker, this ranger cat on the TikTok said you can eat it. So I did take a little berry off of it today, and I put a little bit in my mouth. I'm still alive. I'm just I'm still here. So obviously this guy wasn't full of shit. I'm so glad he wasn't full of shit. I don't know why the fuck I listened to him. I should have double checked that shit. Anyways, hindsight. Okay. Wow. This is like roll-ups is like a truth serum here. This is like just talk. But didn't even know the American Beauty Berry. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, beautiful purple, gorgeous berries. You can eat the berries directly. They don't really taste like anything. Taste like air, like a sweet air. But then he was saying you can make a wine from this. He said ginger and honey and these berries, and I'm like, what? Oh, so excited! So I may try it now that I know, but I don't know. Maybe when they're ripe, it's a little bit better. Let's activate the Orin Plus. Hey, Orin Plus, Orin Plus, hit me. So it doesn't even have to speak. It's telepathically like, fuck yeah, I got you. That's really nice. Let me just a little bit more. I do want to mention, like, me and my lungs, and this is heavy. So I like to mention you don't have to hold it in. There's no need to hold that in for long periods of time. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Don't hold that in, because if you do, that's going to make you cough. You let it come in long enough for it to assimilate into your lungs and then kind of start breaking down into the body. Because if you start coughing, then you're going to start depriving your brain of oxygen. And Lord knows, I can't deprive any more oxygen from my brain. I put myself down, but in a fun, joyous way, because really, you don't want to mess with the couple of brain cells that I have left. And they argue occasionally up there. So they're, and that's it. That's what's happening. So I think concentrates are fantastic. I think that whatever I'm smoking over here just completely blew my brain away. Absolutely awesome. We had so many different things we spoke about this evening. Mm, mm. Now I'm getting to the pieces. Mm. I'm thinking about a coconut cannabis and the Orin Plus. The Orin Plus, it has a ring to it. You know, I'm I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this. I'm like the Orin Plus for mobile uses has a whole. That'd be terrible. You talk to it. It's like your mobile AI or your mobile Orin. Your that would be some crazy shit. Hey, Orin Plus, what's going on? I don't fucking know. It's too bright outside. It's so humid. Go back indoors. It's not good for the electronics. That would be a great AI. I'm just saying, calculate some shit. I am. It's going to take a moment, but I am. So I'm like a mobile AI buddy that also has a cart attachment. Yo, Orin Plus, hit me up. Automatically just kicks right in. It's connected to you via Bluetooth, so it knows when you've had too much. It knows if you're about to drive, and it tells you, hey, yo, go get a coffee and spend 15 minutes before driving. Really. That's what it's telling me. That's what I have to do. So I go to on a little adventure and get a coffee because the Orin Plus told this has got Shark Tank. Listen, my own eyes are. I'm like, where did they go? They're over here somewhere. Okay, we have devised another amazing discovery of cannabis has now been made right here. I'm highly motivated. What is highly motivated? This is a community smoke sesh. So this is a community idea. This is I give this idea to the community to do with it as you please. And I am excited to see it's coconut pieces. All I can taste like they're coming at me now. I don't even know where they're coming from. I am excited to see what is done with the Orin Plus. If there's any proceeds that want to be sent back to Orin after the fact, I understand. I wouldn't argue. I'm not going to say no. What am I going to be like? No, of course, sure. Yachts are expensive. There's a really cool yacht. It's not a yacht. I mean, what is it? What does a yacht have to be? How big does a yacht have to be? Like this thing's 13 feet. I don't it's like a dinghy. It's like a big, but to me that would be a yacht. But it's okay. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can rename it and recreate it because nothing has to be what it says it has to be. So if you want to call a dinghy a yacht, there you go. Call a dinghy a yacht. That's another interesting analogy we're just going to kind of leave alone right now because I think just, you know, yeah. I'm really liking this Orin Plus shit. That's awesome. This thing, look, it's portable. It has a holster. It talks to you. It lets you. It gives you advice along the day. Hey, fucking stay positive. I tell you. I said stay positive. I mean, you need shit like that. It just made the fucking invention better. If people can have me yelling at them throughout the day in positive ways, this can change everything. Wow. I think we've crossed new barriers this evening. We have gone to new places in cannabis invention. I'm proud of all of you. I am proud of all of you this evening here on Highly Motivated. We have motivated all of us as a community together in unison. Tell me this is not monumental. It feels monumental to me. It does. I feel as a community, we have conjured through our combined energy this amazing design idea for a new Alexa. Now, I bet you a smell company, what's a smell? What would be a smell company? Glade. Anybody who has like those little devices that plug into the wall? Okay. So this is beyond that. This is next generation. This is something so big, so big, so big. Look, I'm not one to be like, this is huge. It's huge. It's huge. mm. Coconut pieces. This is what's so great about what this show actually is. Someone recently spoke with me and said they were watching the show. It is absolutely the community's product. They were talking to me about the show, and it was somebody from a cable company, and so they said, the vibe is great, everything's great, but what would be great is if you gave news. What would be great is if you spoke about one topic. What would be great is if like you took like a cause and ran with it. And my response was, well, then that wouldn't be the show. I mean, that would be a lot of structure. It'd be a different show. It would be a different vibe, a different frequency, yo. but it's not highly motivated. Highly motivated is for you. It's for me. It's for all of us that miss that friendly smoke session in the back of the car, in the back of the Jeep, sitting in front of the cell phone store, um, having your morning meetings. I used to manage a cell phone store, and I had this awesome fucking team of salespeople. So in the morning, we'd keep one person aside that doesn't smoke, and then we'd all jump in my Isuzu Amigo. So we'd have four people in the Amigo, excuse me, and we'd all smoke a joint. And we'd smoke this joint and we'd get motivated and push ourselves for the day. Now, we had to sell a lot of cell phones. We had to get bonuses and commissions. Money was tight and hard. We had to work hard. In that vehicle, we got motivated. We became closer friendships, learning about each other emotionally on a different level, getting the baggage off and the barriers that were between us. One girl didn't even speak English. I mean, the other guy was bilingual, so we were fine. But in that, still, oh my God. And in those barriers, there were no barriers. And so Abasi would be in there, I was in there, and we would motivate the team, sometimes individually, like, okay, go back inside, go grab her, have her come inside. She'd come into the truck, she'd smoke with us. One girl that wasn't really smoking all the time, she'd smoke, and be like, like, no, we're not, who the fuck are we gonna tell? And she goes back in. Then I would show up to look, I was terrible. I mean, I was fantastic, but I was terrible. My dress code. If I wasn't working, I would show up to check up on everyone, and I'd have like boots on with cut off jean shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and a cowboy hat. That was my attire, and that's how I used to show up. And they're like, "Oren, you can't be out front. Go to the back and do office shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just going to the back." And so that's But when I'm working, I dress totally different. But when I'm not working, I have no sense of style. I mean, I try hard, but I really do. But no, I think even in my attempts, they're a little off. What did I fucking start talking about that? The fucking sense of style. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. Okay, but yes, it is the community's product. So take it, work it, make it amazing. Take the Orin Plus and really bring it to whole new heights. I think it's look, I'm still stuck on this thing. It's really that's I mean, as far as stupid ideas go, that's like an excellent one. Wait, a little clogged. Now, usually after I put a cart on this, what's interesting, if I take the cart off and I put it on to one of my smaller batteries, I don't get a very good hit. I'm not able to get a really good pull out of it. I think because of the way this thing hits it so hard and forces the air through it, you know, that's what maybe not messes it up, maybe clogs it in a way where I have to pull harder from a regular battery device, and I'm like one of these. Just so when I take it off of here, I don't get quite the same pull. I mean, which is fine. That's good. It's good for microdosing. It's good for smaller amounts. And that's how I kind of see rosin and these 510 devices. Okay, let's hit this one more time or so, and I'll start wrapping things up. Start doing a wrap up because kind of forgetting what the fuck I'm talking about. And there's multiple things to talk about. There's still other things. There's a lot to talk about. I just can't remember what I was going to talk about. And so it's okay. I don't put pressure on myself. That's right. Somebody was watching the show and they were critiquing it and they told somebody about it, which told me something about it. And I said, well, the essence and the vibe of the show, it's the people. It's not even me. I mean, even if I weren't on the show and somebody else was really bringing together highly motivated, that had a great vibe for the community, that's highly motivated. Highly motivated is not me on its own. I create the show from the vibe of the people, the vibe of the listeners and the watchers. It's community. And maybe we're telepathically working on this together as a strange community project. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I give into it. That's cannabis. we talk through the, you know, oh yeah, awesome. See, that is awesome. I'm very excited. And that's what it's all about. Look, meeting in person and seshing. I'm so excited. That's why we do the show. We do this when we can't do that. We get together like this digitally from our couches, from our chairs, from a storage room in the house, which half of it has been turned into a a nursery, a garden nursery that's very strangely lit with different lights. It's very effective though. The room's taken over in different ways for different things. That's why there's like a reddish hue that's hitting me. So in that reddish hue, that's what's full spectrum hitting vegetables. There's sweet peas. I think we're trying to save a fig, a couple tomatoes, um, a big giant fig. Beautiful, beautiful leaves. I hope we save that one. And and so some things start indoors and then we move them outside. We have a lot of land, and we get that way we get to grow a lot of different plants. And instead of doing everything in one spot, I do a lot of little spots. So as you walk around the property, you'll find beautiful hummingbird and butterfly plants that have been nestled into like a variety of big leaves. And then there's sections for succulents, and it's exciting. It's exciting because you see that with the sun coming down, and or when the sun's rising, and you feel that energy of the garden growing, and something that you're creating and artistically shaping, and I think that's very soothing in a way. That when you look at that, you kind of see it come together. I love the colors and the different vibrancy of different plants, and how some things work in some places and they work better in others. I mean, it could be 3 feet away and the plant's much happier. Plants have feelings. It's all about that vibe that's put off. And if you're putting off a good vibe to your plants, and you're putting off a great vibe to people as well, that's a good circle. And that's good energy that comes back to you as well. I think the more I smoke, the deeper I'm going to get. Holy shit. Yeah, just one more of these. Oh, okay, here we go. Last one, really. So I'm pretty sure this is the last one. All right, that's the last one. That's it. Wait. All right, that's it. Wait, shit. Wait, okay. That's it. That one's gonna make me drool. Wow. I felt that one. I mean, I felt the others. But the way but the way that just whoom, right into the brain and kind of kick-started other things. Wow. That's kind of exciting. That's like a full rush. Now again, I'm smoking rosin, and rosin is the closest concentrate that we're going to have to flour. It's the flour just pressed with a little bit of heat, and then they remove some of the particulate matter. Boom. And then batter, which I showed you already a little bit earlier. Batter is a gorgeous, gorgeous concentrate. Beautiful consistency, almost like a butter. I like to put mine, especially, look, I do crumble, I do sugar, I do batter. I put mine in the freezer. Take it out of the freezer and let it sit for a moment with the top on, exactly as it is. Let it sit. Then take it off, because you don't want condensation. You don't want water, as it. So I try to let it come to like a not totally room temperature, but a manageable temperature. That way I can pick the batter out very easily in a nice manageable chunk and drop that into my Puffco, my little proxy. And the proxy. And I do like using this because I feel like I can solve crimes. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. No. Like anything else I've said this evening is not totally bonkers. Like the Orin Plus. I think that is amazing. Take it, community, run with it. Thank you for joining me tonight, by the way, for a quickie smoke. A quickie smoke that turns into an hour and a half. A quickie sesh with community, with all of you. You are why I do the show. That's why when that person had asked me, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do the news. Maybe you should sit there and talk to people and tell them what's going on in the world. We know what's going on in the world. It's depressing sometimes. It's hard. It's not easy. And there are so many sides to pick. So instead, I was like, and maybe I don't. And maybe I do exactly what I'm doing. Because the people that are watching aren't ready for highly motivated. They're not ready for the community to come together and just smoke a joint. Just talk about cannabis, about eating it, about the smells and the aroma and the flavor. Talk about concentrates a little bit. You know, maybe people start to understand what the different consistencies concentrates are. And really, concentrate cannabis, not the flower, but the concentrated version. It's just different textures. Like your batter, what I showed you a little while ago, is like a butter. Your crumble is like a honeycomb. Delicious if it's done properly. Sugar looks like sugar, but sugars in like diamonds or sugars in sauce. Wow, or diamonds. Diamonds in sauce actually look like little itsy bitsy diamonds, like little crystalline squares with a saucy terpiness around them. Really nice if it's a cannabis terp. And cannabis terp meaning coming from the cannabis plant, not from a botanical. Even though the cannabis plant would be botanical, but whatever. We're not going to be, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. So, and all those things I mentioned, like diamonds and sauce or sauce on its own. And then, of course, you have shatter. Oh, shatter is a crystalline, it breaks apart. It's just another form. So instead of doing it like a batter and getting a little piece of batter and dropping it in, I would take a little piece of shatter and drop it in. Some of these need to be held at different temperatures. For example, with gold flour, they have full melt. Full melt is hash, bubble hash, hash. It's full melt is a very clean product. That's very strong. That's very strong. Of course, I want to give it a shot, but price point's a little hard, and I have to save up for that one. But it's definitely worth trying, especially if you want to try a clean, full spectrum, full plant type of hit. So you're getting flavor, you're getting aroma, you're getting terpenes, you're getting cannabis terpenes. So it's going to smell and taste like weed. It's going to taste earthy. And no matter what strain, I think really which way ever it goes, all full melt, I think is almost going to be a little earthy. Because to me, that's a bubble hash. That's a really nice sleep. And then when you start getting into hashish, you start talking about products that you can cure over longer periods of time, and you treat them almost like a dough. You knead into them. You let them breathe a bit. You close them. There are so many beautiful things you could do with hash. And I think that's why I think the older population needs to give concentrates a second chance. There's so much more to it than just taking a dab. With the concentrate that I did earlier, that right there, if I was having a headache, I would do a quick session with the with the Proxy. Every time I pick it up, I don't know why I have an English accent. Proxy. It's not on purpose. It really, I have an English. It's not mine. It's an alter ego, I think, or whatever. But if I pick up the Proxy and I try not to have an English accent, then I'm just going to hold it. And I'm not guaranteeing anything. But in the same sentence, I'm trying very hard not to have a shitty English accent. I'm sorry. It's not on purpose, but we are going to. The game is afoot. Fuck, I'm talking about. All right. You're all awesome. And I hope your week is magic. I hope you make it magic. I hope you create it as magic. I hope you share the energy of friendship and kindness with everybody that you meet. Understand that the world is difficult. The world is hard on everybody. We lose jobs. We lose money to bills and taxes and food and inflation, and shit's hard, and shit's only getting harder. So we still need this. We need community. We need something where we can get together and just say, hey, let's just smoke. Let's relax and take the load of life off of us and just be a community. And even if you don't smoke, come on in. You're welcome. We're all the same under the leaf. Whether you use cannabis or you don't use cannabis, who gives a shit? You're welcome here. And everybody's welcome here. That's what the community is. We educate not just about cannabis, but about health and wellness. We educate about about natural plants and holistic remedies. We educate about organic food and organic cooking and preservation, fermenting instead of pickling, or I mean, wow, gardening, gardening. I've learned so much about gardening from the cannabis closed communities that I wish were more open. I wish neighborhood cannabis communities came together and started neighborhood gardens. And it's not just about cannabis, it's about growing friendships and love, growing neighborhoods and people, growing natural, organic fruits and vegetables to raise our children on. Wouldn't that be a fucking dream? I think it would be the only dream. That would be everything. That's what cannabis can do if communities came together like that. That's what this is. If we had that bigger reach, if I can, I, I talk shit like that. Maybe I should give part of my land as a community garden. If I can reach, it's gonna be weird because you have to come all the way in. Yeah, that'd be weird. No, no, maybe I didn't say that. Maybe I can find another way to get a community garden closer in the town, sponsored or bought or something. What a great way to teach people how to garden. And even if it were sponsored by a cannabis company, that'd be kind of cool. To show people that cannabis is not just cannabis, it's about community. It's about food deserts. Look, where I live in a place that's a food desert, a place that doesn't get certain products in the grocery stores, doesn't get all the freshest vegetables. And that's a lot of pieces. It's like a giant coconut just came right out of the can and said, wow, coconut. But like, I don't even know how they do that. I don't even know how. It's like it got bigger in my mouth. It's like it came out of the can and then it actually became like a chunk of coconut. I mean, wow. But in 3D, it was like, that was insane. That's a lot of coconut. That's a lot of coconut. And it's like all hiding, all at the bottom of the can. So, okay, you're all amazing. You're all awesome. Remember, create your day, create your life, create every moment how you need it and want it to be through the kindness, through manifestation, through creation. I've been learning a lot about manifestation in a whole new way. I For a long time I felt manifestation was just you telling yourself that it's going to be better, and you telling yourself what you want and creating it with authenticity, as authentic as you can honestly be, with as much kindness behind every word and what I'm manifesting. And when I manifest, I talk out loud. I speak it out loud. I speak what I need and what I'm looking for into the universe. And I think there's more to it than that. And it's all your mindset. So, and I hope I don't forget this right now and I'm too high to blah, 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 but you are the creator. You are the creative, and you are the one creating everything. You are, you're not manifesting it for anybody else but yourself. You have to almost trick you into allowing yourself to have goodness. Uh, some people feel like the world is out to get them. Some people feel like no matter what they do good, they still get bad. Well, no matter what they do for good and for advancement of themselves, they still can't get ahead. So you have to stop trying to climb the ladder. This is an analogy that is wild, and I'm going to try to back it up with. I don't even know what that was. Um, you have to climb. You have to stop trying to climb the ladder in your physical realm. In every day, in everything you do, you don't live right now. You plan for the future. You think about the past. But by living right now, you realize things immediately. You smell immediately. You think immediately. You feel immediately. It's all now. You don't think about doing things. You just do them. They just happen. And from the now, you can manifest, or at least you can live with intention and go and create more of the life in front of you. But let me explain this better. So with the climbing the ladder thing, and I heard it on one of the Tiki Takis, and it made beautiful sense. You have to write it down. I'm trying to remember it exactly as they said it. You have to write down, I will not climb a ladder, and put it in your wallet or put it in your purse. And then also on your mirror where you shave or brush your teeth or whatever, write it, I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. Write it on a note and stick it in your car. I will not climb a ladder. And say it and mean it. Say it and mean it. Be everything that that is. And as crazy as that is, you're going to apply this to other things down the road differently. But like this, with conviction, I will not climb a ladder. And you write it down and you put it in your car. And then when you get to work, maybe you have a little note on your desk. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. And everywhere you look, where you keep something, you can have it say, I will not climb a ladder. And you do this for 3 days. 3 days. 3 whole solid days. But at night, every night for those 3 days, every single night, as you are going to sleep and you are falling into dream state, all you need to think about is climbing the ladder. So as you're falling into your dream state, as you're going to bed, when you lay down, you close your eyes. Right there, you start thinking about climbing a fucking ladder. You picture the ladder in your head, and you picture your left hand, imaginary or metaphysical or dream state hand, left, grab the rung. And then you picture the same with your right, and you grab the rung. And then you do the same with your foot, your left foot, your imaginary holographic foot, fuck whatever you're gonna call it. And you put it up to a rung, and the same with your right. And you climb that ladder in your dream state, in your sleep, as you're going to bed. And you climb that ladder up. And when you get to the top, you climb it down. And you do it again and again and again and again. And you do this for 3 nights. So for 3 days, you are telling yourself, I am not going to climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder during the day. And at night, you climb that ladder. And somewhere within the week ahead, you're going to be called to be doing something. I don't know where, for whom, but you'll get a call, or you'll be called upon, or you will find yourself halfway up a ladder before you realize that you're climbing a ladder. When you understand it, it blows your fucking mind, because you are the creator. You are making and manifesting the life in front of you as you live, as you simulate it. It's yours. And you are sharing it with other people's simulation around you. That's deep shit. But that's exactly what it is. You are sharing your personal dimension and simulation with everybody else's manifestation and creation. And theirs become part of yours. Yours affects theirs. I will not climb a ladder, but then every night you climb that ladder. So the video I'd watched, the guy who had told the story, he said, then I was going to these classes with this famous mind cat. I can't remember people's names, are obviously very important. And it probably would have been important for the story as well. But in that, the moral of it, he said, well, then I applied that to other things. And he goes, in the next 3 months, I made almost $30,000. And back then, from when this video was done, 30,000 back then was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. I mean, today, that would be monumental amounts if you were doing like even amounts from then to now. I mean, look, a cheeseburger back then was 10 cents. Holy shit. Yeah, amazing. So in that amazingness, it's mindset, and it's how you trick your mind, and it's how you make yourself believe. Because when you can make yourself believe something, then you can change it. Not until you believe it. Not until you trick yourself into it sometimes. Not until you trick yourself into the good. Maybe even before, the guy wasn't going to climb a ladder at all. Maybe he wouldn't even have seen opportunities to climb a ladder by telling himself not to climb the ladder. But then at night, his subconscious self was stronger than self. The subconscious, much stronger than self. And you make your subconscious believe and do it within a couple day repetition. Magic fucking happens. I will go into it again. It's a show on its own. It's really maybe the root of manifestation. So many people try manifesting and it doesn't work. But you try this, and I've tried. Wow, wow. Find the video, maybe listen to it. Older cat, just maybe not a little much slower speaker than myself, but very informative. But sometimes you have to listen a couple of times to really get what he was saying when he was saying it. And it's not. I don't think it's about getting yourself to a certain place, like a certain meditative zone. It's about an understanding. It's about an understanding of who you are in this grand electrical universe. Who you are in this ever evolving energy ball of multiverse that we are living in. And it's exciting that we are intelligent enough to think about it like that. It's exciting to think that we have come so far in our sci-fi that that is a possibility, even a unbelievable possibility these days, becoming so much more true. I'm just, see, some serious shit at the end of the show. That's what it's all about. Thank you for joining us on Highly Motivated Wednesday Smoke Sesh. You never know what we're going to talk about. And I told you, it takes me like 15 minutes to get into the show. Every show, the first 15 minutes, I don't know what's going on. My brain is still developing. It's like a baby, and it's developing. I'm like a child. And after 15 minutes, it's like birth. I'm there. I'm like, hey, welcome everybody. Hello. I'm now at the show. It's like an evolving thing in the show. I have to evolve to whatever. And whatever that might be, who knows? Wow. But in that, that's the fun. That's us. That's everybody. So, anyways, I'm done. I can't anymore. I'm finished. I'm finished. I have to go pass out. I have an early morning. So much to do. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be like, I think I'll be in St. Pete and Largo and Tampa. Oh, exciting. Fast. But I gotta be out of there and back again. Just you gotta keep things moving and shaking and keep the excitement and the adventure of life all over the place. I love it. Okay, have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. See you on Friday. Highly motivated. 8 o'clock. Same place, same time. No, well, normal time, same place. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Have a great night. Okay. Ooh, shit, knocked that over.